The record played through the living room and kitchen while we made dinner just low enough for conversation and jabbing remarks. The flow of voices and music was easy and relaxed. People moved throughout the rooms uninterrupted. Then, I found the figure in the back hallway when I opened the doorway. It glowed orange and yellow, with a golden collar of light. Although it was difficult to see its obstructed face, I saw it was a young girl. I took a step forward and she receded into the back wall and faded into the beam of light permanently on the old wooden floor. I wasn't afraid, but I was guarded and conflicted. I considered it for a minute there in the hallway. I looked into the mirror in the bathroom to reassure myself that I could see clearly. I cleaned my glasses quickly and washed my hands out of habit. But when I went back to the kitchen I didn't see anybody, as if there would be no one to listen to me if I spoke. The sauce and water bubbled menacingly to face the figure was a challenging psychological defeat. I wondered if I should speak over the music loudly and abrasively, or if when the side was over, I could softly remark on my observation. The living room was jovial, and the cats were excitedly jumping over the couches and onto the tables, to the delight of the guests. Jacob became placid and quiet suddenly, and he asked me if I was going to say anything. It was his apartment, and he obviously already knew. We exchanged some worried looks. I stuttered for a minute as I asked for a beer. He granted my wish with a Miller High Life and sat next to me. What I really wanted was to see it again, so I could understand what its purpose was. He told me she was protecting him, and that her collar of gold was meant to explain her inability to communicate. What was she protecting him from? Was it safe to open us up to such psychic and telekinetic interference? I discovered that the others had quieted and began watching our nervous motions. The table abruptly stopped turning, and the record stopped. The sounds of cars driving by flowed through the window freely. Dave asked who died and why we weren't flipping the record. I told him it was okay to play something, I just didn't feel like doing the simple task. Jacob got up to do it and stopped. He told me he wanted to talk. I agreed, but was uneasy about the content of the conversation. I asked what he meant by protective, as in, what are the other features of his apartment that may be in need of protection? My room was downstairs 2 floors and I only felt and imagined things. I never physically saw or observed any type of paranormal or supernatural movement. What I had seen in the hallway was more than I had ever experienced in the past. He began stringing a prism in the overpass of the door and showed me where the other one was located in the doorway of his bedroom about 12 paces away. If I found the source in the house I would be able to do something about it. But as of right now it's just a solemn and terrifying figure that lurks in doorways and hallways and shuts them after a cold wind blows through it. Jacob seemed relieved to share all of it, but I wondered why he hadn't said anything before.